Hello, and thank you for tuning in to the Parent Trap Podcast. In life, there are a lot of traps, and parenting is definitely a big one. My name is Laria, and I am your host. I created this podcast so that minority parents have a space where we can talk about real problems through some real families. Now, I want you guys to tune in. We will be posting episodes Monday bi-weekly. You can catch us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, as well as Podbean. We're going to have some great topics. We're going to dig deep into our culture and make this trap of parenting a little bit easier to maneuver through. Go ahead and subscribe to our show. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hello and welcome back to the Parent Trap Podcast. I am your host, Laria, and this is your podcast for minority parents. We're going to have some real families coming on talking about real problems. So you guys are in for a treat today. We have two guests, and I'm going to let them introduce themselves. But first, let me give you the topic of our show. We're going to dive into Hispanic culture. And they're just going to talk to you guys about what it was like growing up in their household. So who wants to go first with your intro?
Hi, everybody. My name is Nancy Rodriguez, and I am the oldest out of three girls. So I played the mom role all my life.
Hi, my name is Dana, and I am the baby of the family. And, of course, I'm a little spoiled. They say a lot, but it's okay.
Okay, and what is your favorite thing about your culture?
One of my favorite things about my culture is how we are able to come together in moments of disaster or just sad moments or whatever type of moments, even happy. We're able to get together and just either enjoy each other's company or cry with each other and share with each other and it not be resentful or, anything in regards to, you owe me. It's just really about being open and okay to sharing.
She's starting off deep. I like that. I'm going to change my culture already. Let me check the box. No. Go ahead. Dana. What's your favorite thing?
Well, my favorite thing about my culture is the food. Food is really great.
Yes.
I mean, it has a lot of seasoning, maybe too much salt, but it's all right. Not good for my legs, but good for me. My tummy.
Okay, let's feed off of that. What is the thing with salt not being good for your legs? What's your background with that? Like, is that an old tale from your grandmother? Like, don't be eating all that salt.
My grandma has like salt problems and that her legs swell up. And I think it's just me being so close to her jumped to me already young.
Yeah, and I asked because black people always be like, you want to have high blood pressure, eat all that salt.
Right.
I feel like we all got our different cultural things. What it's going to do.
It's very true.
Yeah.
And it's like, drink a lot of water.
Right. Yeah.
Like, you drink water.
Okay, so let's start off because this podcast is definitely about parenting. What is the expectation from parent to child in your culture? And just to give you guys an example, like in African American culture, like talking back is frowned upon. And sometimes having an opinion about something is like, you can't do that in our culture. You could just say, I don't like this, and you in trouble and you rebellious. So what is the parent to child relationship in your culture?
What you said, it's like we getting hit with a sando or a shoe. They're going to find any sando.
How do you say it in Spanish?
Una chancleta.
Chancleta, yeah. I saw a post on social media like, what did you get booked with? And all the Hispanic people was like, chocolate.
Yeah.
How you say it again?
Chancleta.
Chancleta, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and they say they don't miss. Mothers be like, I ain't never missed.
They don't. And my mama never missed.
It'll bounce off some, hit you like, dang, really, girl?
You know, at school they taught us, you know, if there's a gunfire around, you know, you do zigzags. We did zigzags and you still got hit, you know. So
okay, so let's get personal. What is your I guess deepest memory with being hit by the sandal? Like for what? What did you do?
oh, I don't know. Probably nothing.
Well, she's a little innocent, but right.
She just felt like throwing.
Right.
Right. The middle child though, she talked a lot. Always talked back. That was her. She always got whooped more than I did. I was a sweet one.
You were?
Yeah, I'm just goofy. The other one, she was smart mouth.
Even in the teen years?
Mm-hmm.
You were the good one?
Yeah,
wow,
sure.
this is interesting. Dana was the good one.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
It's
just
my
goofy.
sister that's between us.
Yeah.
She's smart mouth. I mean, until this day, you know, she hasn't
still
changed.
is.
She got whooped the most.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember one time she was right.
Oh, girl.
Yeah, you should've. She was running up the stairs, and our stairs curved, and she still like the chancleta still hit her. My mom, yes. I was like, "What is going on?"
That is hilarious.
She said, "My mama said, don't test me. It's still gonna get you."
Right.
Or
She was
down
the
the
one.
street. Yeah, no, that's super funny. So, being adults now, how has that dynamic changed? Because in my family, you're never an adult. So the same rules apply when grown folks talking. Although you're grown too. Like, I thought I was 30. I can't have it. What's happening?
Actually,
I think ours is different.
yes, definitely. I think now it's the relationship between our parents and like us is very much, you know, we have a friendship when we have definitely the open table to be able to bring whatever we need to bring to the table, and they're fine with it. And even if it's like joking around, I thank God my mom always gave us that liberty actually in our teen years to be able to talk about different topics. It didn't matter about if it was friendship, church, you know, even like sex and just deep things, rooted things like that. We were able to speak to her about it. So in reality, there is a line of disrespect, but it's very far.
Yeah.
You know.
And I think it may be just my family. And you know, it's a huge chunk, but I just know like when my immediate family is like, okay, people can't handle the adult version of you.
Right.
As long as we don't curse, we good. No, we far away. Okay, I'm sorry, girl. Sorry. don't even.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next question is, what is the dating expectation? I know in some families, like with us, it was like with girls, me until I was 16, and it still wasn't all the way fully receptive, but they let it happen. And with the boys, they just pretty much kind of had no standard. I feel like they was just living their life. They was 5 years old talking about, this my girlfriend at daycare, and everybody thought it was cute. But if a girl said it, it was a lot going on. So what's the expectation in your culture with dating and marriage and things like that?
Well, definitely, we grew up in a Christian household, so our dating expectation was definitely to wait till you got married. But the dating expectation is to bring whoever you're talking to home. And well, for me, I'm definitely daddy's girl, so I've really never brought anybody home except for one guy. And it's because the man I want to bring home is the man I think is worthy. If you're not, then you ain't meeting my parents.
That's good.
So, yeah.
Okay, and what's the age around that? Like, if you were to be, and I'm asking this because being a mentor, I have girls that are in middle school and that are dating and like actually go on dates, and I'm just like, whoa, that was totally unacceptable back in the day. But if you were to be in 7th grade and be like, oh, I have a boyfriend that I want to go to the movies with,
No,
is that
no.
acceptable? And what response do you think you
Not
would
at
get?
all. No, we had to wait until we were graduated from high school to be able to date.
Okay.
And then even that, in our culture, not, and this is kind of like set aside from being a Christian, right? In our culture, we're supposed to be married by 21, 22, like at an early age, right? You know, after high school. And the sad thing is that we're not really expected to go to high school. I mean, to college.
Okay.
I'm sorry. We're not.
Say by law.
No.
She's like,
No, I'm sorry. We're not really expected to go to college, so it's basically like you graduate high school and your first mission should be find a husband and get married, have kids, give me grandkids, you know, and then go on with life, do ministry and all that. But here, when you come into the United States, it's very different. Obviously, you know, you at school you have different expectations because you have teachers telling you, hey, you should go to college. Hey, I think you'd be good at this. And our parents weren't really strong in you should go to college or get a degree. They're basically like whatever you want to do, and which was fine. But
as long as we work.
I wish they would have pushed me to go to college right away. But it all works out for the great of God. Yeah, we were expected to get married right away. And when that didn't happen, I felt very disappointed because I was engaged. But then when that didn't work out, I felt like, you know, there went my whole purpose within my culture. But at the same time, I thank God because where would I be if I would have gotten married at that age?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have had the capacity, the mental capacity to be able to withhold the marriage at the age of 21, 22.
Yeah. And just to help somebody that may be listening, that may be at that stage of their life, what are some things you did to overcome that feeling of disappointment or like, you know, my whole purpose and I let my family down? Like, what did you do to get past that stage?
It was definitely a process. I will not even lie to you. But one of the things I did was I found my purpose in helping others. So at that time, that's when I went and I did mission trips. You know, I went to Nicaragua and I went to Guatemala and I went to Mexico. And I just gave and gave of me the best way I knew how to. And it was helping others. So through that time, it was just finding my purpose at that moment. Because I love missions. So that's one of the things I would love to do for the rest of my life is travel back and forth. But for someone that's hearing me, I would definitely let them know, find your purpose, you know, find something that you love and just do it. Don't suffer or don't drown yourself in depression or in a loneliness thinking that you need this certain expectation, you need to meet it, because that expectation may take you to even a deeper hole. So I'd say find your purpose in something and you'll definitely love what you're gonna do.
Dana, did you deal with that same disappointment? Because I know you're single. Did you deal with some of the similar things she did with not following that process of graduating, getting married, and whatever else?
No, I didn't. My life went a different way than hers did. Even if, we're sisters and stuff, but my life went a whole different way. So, it's true what she's saying and all, like we're supposed to, but being a pastor's kid and all that, like, it's a lot out there even for us, you know, because a lot of people looked at us. Yeah. So it was like, okay, we're supposed to be this certain way. Like, for me, I'm one of, like, the troubled ones or whatever, but it's like, no, we not, you know, we're not my dad or my mom. We're not Marcos. We're not Nancy. You know, we have our own name. Yeah. We're ourselves. Like, let's get that clear. Yeah. No, I'm me. And it's not like I'm going to do whatever I want, but I kind of chose a different way of life. And, I mean, it was hard, but I made it through it, and I'm actually learning even now with life and trying to find still even myself at the age of 26. Like, I'm still in the process and trying to be like, okay, let me go this way even if I'm not comfortable, but, let me just see what is this about. So
I applaud you too for just being so, comfortable in your own skin. So yeah. That is awesome. I want to backtrack. Where is your native place to live? Like, where are your parents from? And did they grow up there? Or, like, what was your migration like over to the U.S.?
Okay.
And something you said triggered that, like, duh, we should have did that first. But,
yeah, no problem. So, both my parents are Puerto Rican. My dad was born and raised in Puerto Rico. My mother was born and raised in Chicago. But my mother's parents were both born and raised in Puerto Rico. Okay. And my great-grandfather brought his family, which, brought my grandfather. And then my grandfather went back to marry my grandmother and brought her to Chicago. And then so my mom and dad met in Puerto Rico because my mom was a troubled kid, too. And like Dana. And so
mama's cute girl.
right. And then my mom was sent to Puerto Rico with an aunt of hers that pastored a huge church in Puerto Rico. And there at church was where my mom met my father. Okay. And they prayed, and then my dad moved here and married my mom.
Awesome. So have you guys ever lived there, or you just been in the U.S. all your life?
No, U.S., yeah.
Okay. All right.
Well, we were both born in Alabama and raised here.
Alabama?
Yeah.
I love Puerto Rico, but it's too hot. It's too hot.
Everybody's so close together, too.
Especially being in Wisconsin. I don't know. I like the heat. I've never experienced Puerto Rico heat.
Oh, man. It's a whole different type of heat here.
Yeah. I grew up in Georgia and I loved it. So, yeah, I like the heat. I be dreading the winter. So, yeah. Okay, so this question may be a little tough and whatever. What is like the thing you can do to just disgrace your culture? And this doesn't have to be like something you did, but what is it about your culture? Like, somebody does that, kind of how black people be like, "No, we taking your black card for that one." What is something?
Never heard that one before.
Y'all never heard that one?
Yeah, no, I've heard it.
Yeah, I'm like,
right,
for sure.
I've had to take some people's black cards from them. Like, what?
Like, yeah, this just not working out. We went through a few rough seasons with Kanye. We still in the middle of one.
Man, come on.
So, what is the thing to disgrace your culture that somebody can do to where you like?
I think one of the things that
just being extra and just too much. I don't know.
I think one of the things that I disgrace about my culture or the people is when a lot of them migrate from Puerto Rico here to the U.S., they try to live off the government.
That's true.
Like, they don't want to work, or they want to work, like, at a minimum, but then a lot of them are very prideful because they don't have much. So they try to look as if they do. Yeah. They don't. Yeah. So that's one of the things that I personally try to stay away. Yeah. I can't deal with prideful people.
Can't come back. We starting the Puerto Rican card. Don't get your card revoked.
No. Right.
Lazy.
I think that's a big thing though too. Like, not for nothing, but a lot of people from Puerto Rico do come like that. Even some of our family members came like that. Like, come on, we just helped y'all come over here. Yeah. Like, don't work for us, work for you. Yeah. We trying to help you grow, not us.
Right.
Okay, so the next thing, what is acceptable discipline in your culture? Being a parent, I think sometimes we don't know other forms of discipline exist. And talking to people in different cultures is kind of what helped me to be a better parent, to where I'm just not whooping my child for everything to where sometimes I'll do other things. What in your culture was like normal for discipline?
Well, I'm not sure if, well, in our household, if there's something I really thank God for within my father was when us girls would fight, he would, our consequence was that we had to say sorry and hug.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was,
Yeah.
you could not do anything else. So up until this day, as adults, when we argue or when we disagree on something,
We first call mom. Tell her
we
about it.
right, we talk to my mom or my dad, but at the end of the day, we can't. None of us can go to sleep without apologizing and hugging it out. So at this moment, we all live under the same roof. Not with my parents, but us three girls. My other sister's married, and her husband, they live upstairs. Dana and I live downstairs. So we still have that that installed in us that if we disagree on something, we need to some way talk it out, apologize, and hug. So
Okay, and just to kind of piggyback off of that, what about when it was something in conflict with your parents? Like they told you not to do something, or they gave you a boundary or a rule, and you broke the rule. How would you be disciplined then?
Oh.
Flashback pain.
Right. I mean, go ahead.
She get the sandal first.
right, my mom was definitely the discipliner
Yeah.
in our family. My dad, my mom would whoop. She did spank. She didn't spank. She whooped.
Man, it was get to my room and bend over and I'm whooping you.
Yeah, but she would have a conversation with us beforehand though too. Yeah. Now my dad, there came a point at 13, 14 where my mom didn't want to really spank us anymore. So my dad's long talks really, shaped us up. So he would talk to us for a long time, recite the Bible and everything. But we had structure in our house so that way that if we did get in trouble, we definitely went through my mom first, and then my dad.
And is that just the positions they took, or is that the culture where the women usually do more of the discipline and the man is just kind of like, or is it just, it doesn't matter?
Yeah, that's just the positions that they took. For most of my childhood, my father worked two jobs, a first and a third shift job. And then my mom worked first shift. So my mom was more at home than my dad. So she had to.
She was tired.
Yeah, right.
I'm whooping y'all today.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
My dad would hype us up. He wrestled with us. He threw us across the room on couches. He did all that.
Having three girls and he still rough.
We roughing him up too sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm sure
even to this day.
Oh yeah.
He don't get out of it.
Yeah.
Especially if you want to stay in the bed. Okay, we here in your house.
Okay, so to just close off on a positive note, and I'll leave it open for anything you guys want to add after this. What are the things about your culture that you are like, I love this, I'm going to pass this down to my kids, and this makes me proud to be Puerto Rican?
Yes, definitely. There's something that happened last week in Puerto Rico that really made history in Puerto Rico. That's going to definitely change the books. And it was how the people gathered together for 2 weeks and they rallied and they protested for 2 weeks for the corruption to end in the government. And months prior, a couple of people from the office of the government were escorted by the FBI, and now they're facing charges for fraud, and and then some of the governor's emails and text messages were leaked, and so basically the people were really tired of the corruption. And this just doesn't happen now. This came from decades before, right? And so people just rallied up, and we saw just a lot of videos where people would actually share food, and they danced, and they had music, and
even prayed too.
yeah, there's people
praying right in front.
right, there was people at what we call El Morro, which is the fort. The people would go to the fort, and they would get up at 5 a.m. and they would go and pray and fast over Puerto Rico and over the governor. Well, what happened was, at first the governor stated that he was not going to resign and he was going to complete his term. But it came to a point that the governor did speak to the people, stating that he was going to resign because of the protest, and he thought that, this is it for him. I definitely pray for the governor. It's definitely something hard to do, and he has a family, but it was just so beautiful how these people, sun up, sun down, they were there protesting. No violence, no gunfire, just everybody together in unison, protesting on what they wanted to end corruption.
Yeah.
So that is something I definitely pass on to my children, and it's about using your voice in the right way. Yeah. And also I would definitely keep the commandments my parents gave me, or basically, the foundation of our household, which was God. Yeah. And the principles in the Bible. So
okay.
Yeah.
I think for me it's just keep speaking Spanish and stuff, because nowadays you can have Puerto Rican family homes, but they all speak English to the kids. So they're like, well, I don't know Spanish. Like, both of your parents are Hispanic. Like, what is going on here?
Yeah.
Like, no. And I mean, it's hard though too, because even for me, we don't live with our parents or even our elderly ones. So we have to go to them or talk to them on the phone just to keep having, just having the language and even speaking it. And big thing is even writing it and reading it, because I don't write and read it, but my sisters do. And it's because I didn't really want to learn like that. Like, it was cool, but I'm going to go to school even for that, just to even learn how to read and write, because, I mean, we're still Hispanic, and you should still keep your old language and your knowledge going on to your kids too. So
that's really good.
Yeah, piggybacking off of what Dana said, definitely the language is very important. And if you ask a kid, would you like to speak a different language? Most of the time they tell you yes. It's interesting. It's I think it's so beautiful when someone knows more than one language, or let me say more than 2 languages or more. And also there's something that we do when we see our elders of our family. We do kiss on the cheek, and then we ask them for bendición. Bendición means blessing. Okay. And then when you say bendición, they say que Dios te bendiga, which is God bless you. Okay. So you always tell your elders that, so that way they can give you their blessing. So that's definitely something very important that a lot of families have lost throughout the way, because they don't keep those, culture foundations.
Yeah, that's real true.
But anywhere you go, in Puerto Rico, anywhere,
it's always
you see an elder, yep, you kiss him on the cheek and you say bendición.
Or even if you're meeting somebody, that's the way how you greet. When you shake their hands and you give them a kiss, like, Yeah, that's definitely a big culture of us.
Yeah, and that's a great culture. In the U.S., is sexual harassment, but
how you said it was so innocent.
Hey, look. But I think it's still like precious to
is.
know that people are still that soft and gentle and not tainted to where that can be a greeting in a part of the world. So we gotta work
Even
on our
the
stuff
phone.
over here.
We do.
Right.
We
Yep.
do.
Even on the phone, when they call you, you call them. That's the first thing you say.
It's bendición.
Bendición. Like, it's weird when you don't, and even like, you're like, okay, bendición. Like, even if you're clicking fast, like, dang, elderly people hang up quick nowadays. Like, you be like, hey, grandpa, I'm trying to see how you doing. Oh, I'm good. Okay, but I be like, grandpa, wait a minute.
I thought it was just me. I'm like, why are you rushing me off the phone? That's weird.
Yeah, I be like, dang, they want you to check on. I want trying to check on you and then look at you.
Yeah, they don't have time for it.
Right.
They tired.
Girl, when you go to their house, they on the phone. Like, wait.
I'm offended. I definitely just went through that. Okay, I'm gonna say one of my grandparents. I was I don't say. I feel like they gonna figure it out. Whatever. Who cares? They ain't gonna listen to this. But I was at her house. Like, she always like rush me off the phone, and I'm there, and she was on the phone with somebody. I'm like, I am offended. Like, and I started asking my siblings, like, does she rush y'all's phone today? Like, yeah. So that made me feel better. It's just like, y'all kids gone somewhere. Maybe we'll get to asking for something after a little while.
Right.
If I would have found out the other grandkids was getting more phone conversations, I think that would have triggered me. Like, family meeting.
Right.
Girl. Yeah. Well, my grandma even checks on me, though. She checks on us.
Yes.
She's like, I'm just kind of see how you doing. I'm like, oh, my bad, I ain't go over there, but I'll be there.
Yeah.
Do you guys have family meetings? Now I bring that up. Is that a thing?
We do. We do. Not our immediate family usually. No. Sometimes.
Like, it'll be like
once in a great while. Yeah. But like my grandmother's children and our cousins. Yeah. Yes, we do.
Okay. Yeah. At least if something major happened, we'll be like. My aunt used to always call them, and I'm just wondering, like, was that just her? Like, is this just something y'all do? Because it used to be, I was always the one to get in trouble. I was the Dana of the family. I would get in trouble at the family meetings. So, one time I almost got stoned. But they was just talking about all this stuff I do. And I was like, he who is without sin cast the first stone. I tried to be real slick mouth. And then my auntie was like, oh, you think you slick? She sent all my cousins outside, like, go get some rocks. And then one of my cousins, she came in like, sorry, Laria, I tried to grab the small ones. I'm like, y'all is not finna stone me. I'm finna fight everybody. But
that was funny.
That's my mischief, but.
But we hang out a lot though together. We're like a big close family, especially from here.
We do.
We do stuff. Try to do as much, but we all got. Not us, but everybody else have kids. Yeah. So.
What are your cultural holidays? Just throw them out there really quick. So.
Oh well, for sure. There's the Tres Reyes, Three Kings.
So in Puerto Rico, Christmas isn't celebrated. What is celebrated is the Three Kings, and so families share the Three Kings story instead of the Christmas story. Yeah. Our Christmas story is the birth of Jesus Christ, but a lot of other families it's Santa here in the U.S. But we celebrate the Three Kings, which is January 6th. Other days. We go hard on birthdays, let me tell you. That's here and that's in Puerto Rico too.
We go hard.
We go hard on birthdays.
Make sure you have that pork though, you know what I mean?
Every birthday or specific years?
No, every birthday.
Okay, I need to move my
right.
Puerto Rico.
Right. Go to the south side.
Okay, any other?
There's.
Thanksgiving is. Same for us.
Yeah, there's a day in September, which is
Easter,
the Independence.
In Easter, we all wear the same stuff.
What you mean, like matching outfits?
Yes.
Or the same outfit every year?
No, matching outfits. Like, every year for us was like, I feel like we only wore a yellow dress all the time. It was like 4 of us 3, and my cousin. Like, they'll always match us. I mean, but
What age does that stop at?
girl, we still be matching nowadays.
Right.
But my dad is like, well, my mom made a rule like if you buy for one, you buy for all. So for her birthday, he'll buy for her and us. For my birthday, all three of us. For Anna's birthday, all three of us. I mean,
have a birthday to yourself?
girl, I had one though.
Of course you did.
Yeah.
The baby.
Ooh, I was slick with it. It's like, no, Dad, they don't need no shoes. But it was, but yeah, it's cool though. It's a good thing.
The other day that is celebrated is called the El Grito de Lares, which is the cry of Laras, sorry, and which is September 23rd. So it was like a war that was broken into the natives of the land, and I believe it was Christopher Columbus and his people. So swear.
Yeah. Okay, and is there anything else significant that you want to mention about your culture when it comes to parenting or norms, just to bless the people with some knowledge?
Yeah, just one more thing. In Puerto Rico, we try to always uplift our elders as much as possible.
Yeah.
Our great grandmother lived to be 92 years old, and it was a blessing. She was able to see 4 generations, maybe even 5 if I think hard enough. But it was, it was a blessing for her to be able to see that. And everywhere anybody went, road trip to Chicago, it don't matter. She was there. So we didn't forget about them. We would never put her in a nursing home. None of that. We took care of her just like she took care of all of us until the day that she passed. So I'd definitely tell someone, appreciate the time that you have with your elders.
Okay. And piggybacking off of that, how do you guys balance that with like living together and even right now, like being sisters and roommates? And I know everything is not peaches and cream, and not saying to get deep, but how do you manage having other adults in your space when everybody has their annoyances and their different things? How do you guys move past that and still stick together?
Go to your room now.
Right.
Look, listen, don't come in my room, okay?
Right. Well, my sisters and I, we know our limits and we know how to test them, of course, push our buttons. But we try not to do that. Yeah. We always try to be like in peace.
We communicate though.
Yeah, communication definitely.
Yeah. Just like a text or something. What else? I think, not for nothing, but growing up with her, she didn't like dishes. And she was lazy of cleaning. So I was like, man, I'll never live with you. Never, because I was the one that always cleaned. Yeah. I was the one that always cleaned. And so, but now, like, growing up, I think it's, like, really the best thing ever because we know each other, like she said, but we also, like, have each other's backs. Yeah. Like, if I don't buy one thing, she buys it. Yeah. If she don't buy this thing, I buy it. Like, I don't wash really dishes.
Yeah, she don't wash dishes. I'm glad she highlighted that. Listen, but I was about to put her on blast.
But, this is because I used to wash dishes all my life. And I'm done.
Listen.
So... so it's just, but she don't, so I don't wash dishes, but she doesn't, like, clean much. Like, I'm the one that cleans, and then she the one that washes dishes, and...
I take care of the kitchen. Let's say that.
The rest of the kitchen.
Right.
Half the kitchen. But we just know each other.
Now I cook.
She do cook.
You don't cook at all?
I clean the mess.
I clean the mess.
Like, that is my part of the deal.
Right.
Okay. It's okay.
But yeah, we
but we don't. If I have it and Dana don't got it, then that's how it is. If Dana got it and I don't have it, then she gonna put in. We don't have that bickering like, no, you owe me, or I owe you. Like, no, never.
You do it, you just do it.
Right.
That's a great way to be. It's how me and my brother are, but yeah.
It's definitely, it's better than having like a friend as a roommate.
Oh yeah, no, I can't do friends as roommates.
But yeah.
Listen.
But it's cool though. It's really just like she said. We just know each other, and one of us we have each other's backs. And if we don't have it, the other one got it. You know.
That's true.
So
if I ain't got milk, I'm going upstairs.
Right.
Taking her milk. But she's, it's the same thing with my other sister. If she's at the store, hey, what do you need? Yeah. And it's nothing like, hey, you owe me this or
right. Yeah.
And that's just love and maturity.
Right.
Yeah, most definitely.
That is true.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We will be back in 2 weeks with another episode. I hope you enjoyed the show. Share it with a friend, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Have a great day.